AppDynamics can generate notifications or invoke actions based on conditions that you configure. These alerts can either be email notifications, integration with third-party tools like ServiceNow, Slack, PagerDuty, etc., or even invoke remediation scripts to fix problems. By setting such alerts, you can determine problems proactively. Instead of waiting for a customer to complain about slowness, you can identify and possibly fix these issues as they occur. There are two steps to configure these alerts. Step 1 is to create an action, and step 2 is to set up a policy that correlates your health rule conditions to the actions. So first, let's take a look at creating an action. For that, you would click on Alert and Respond, and from the drop-down, select the application. Then go ahead and click on Actions, and you will find the options to create your actions here. So to create one, click on the plus icon here, and it will show you all the different types of actions that you can create. So first, let's take a look and understand what are all these options available to us. Send out email notifications by adding your email address and selecting this option, send an email. You can also receive text message alerts by adding your number and selecting this option, send an SMS message. You can also start a diagnostic session on the selected business transaction. You can use this option if you want to collect additional snapshots for better diagnosis of the issue. You can also take a thread dump. This is available for Java agent. You can also trigger a script. This could either be a batch script for Windows or a shell script for Linux. For example, if you want to restart a server, you can write a script for it and you can execute it when a health rule violation happens. You can also create a Jira ticket and assign it to a group within your organization. You can also integrate with third-party tools like ServiceNow, Slack, Opsgenie, PagerDuty by using this option of making an HTTP request. And finally, you can run a custom action. This option is available for on-prem controllers where, for an example, you can execute a script and that has to be uploaded to the controller. As an example, let's set up two alerts. One to send an email notification and second to create an incident on ServiceNow. So let's select send an email. Click OK and add your email address here. You can add multiple addresses. They all have to be comma separated. Once you're done, go ahead and save. And there you have your email set up. Now let's click on the plus icon again to create an action for ServiceNow integration. For this, we'll select make an HTTP request. Click OK. Let's give that a name. For all HTTP requests, you need to first define a HTTP request template, which will have the URL of the third-party tool. In this case, it is ServiceNow. And it will also have a payload section where you will define the structure of the ticket or incident that you want to create. So I already have a template defined, so I'll go ahead and select that. If you're looking for some sample templates, you can check out the AppDynamics community. So now I will go ahead and click Save. So now that we have our actions defined, the next step is to create a policy. So let's go ahead and select policy from the left-hand side here. And we will click on Create Policy manually. Like I mentioned earlier, you create a policy to link your health rule conditions to the action. So based on your requirement, you can select the options here. First, I'll go ahead and give it a name. Then I have the option of selecting, for instance, if you have to set up something on health rule violations. So you can get an alert when a warning health rule violation and critical start and end. Similarly, if you have enabled anomaly detection, you will see similar options like when an anomaly warning or critical starts and ends. And you have a lot of other options to explore from as well. Some customers also like to be alerted when a JVM or CLR crashes. So for that, you can select that option from here. So as an example, I'll go ahead and select on health rule violations whenever it starts. So I will select the first two options here, and I will select the JVM crash option. You will notice that once you select any options under the health rule violation events, the health rule scope here gets enabled. So if I go ahead and click here, you can define which specific health rules you want to be alerted on. So I'll go ahead and select these health rules and click on the plus icon here. So this will give me a list of all of the health rules that are defined for your application. So in this case, I will go ahead and select business transaction health, select that health rule, and finally I will go into actions. And this is where you will select the actions that you created in the previous step. So I will click on the plus icon here, and in this case I will select my action to send an email. And I don't really need to add anything here, only because there is already a default template, so you don't need to worry about missing any details there. So I'll just go ahead and click OK, and I'll click on the plus icon again and select the ServiceNow incident creation. So I'll go ahead and click on save, and that has created my policy. So now you will be receiving email notifications as well as an incident on ServiceNow whenever a business transaction health rule violates or a JVM crashes.